Hey, welcome back. So in 2021, I had started to get serious with my art, but my art didn't look very serious. So today I thought, let me roast all my art of 2021 just to really put the old year behind us and start with the new year of growth and learning. By the way, Happy New Year. So the first piece I did was a little bit after my birthday around August, and I wasn't as serious about art as I am now. There's lots wrong with this piece. Firstly, the head has no shape at all. Then you can see the arm that is incomplete, and I don't even know if that looks like an arm. We also have the hair, where I was highlighting individual strands of hair. Not highlighting, drawing individual strands of hair. From what I've learned currently, you have to create the hair shape first, and I don't even think that I have a hair shape. So, a light base everywhere also, and then add shadows. And the last detail are like strands of hair that peek out from the hair. None of which was done in this piece right here. Let's not even get into how flat the facial features look. Like, oh my god, the eyes aren't even the same proportion. And I think I still struggle with that today in my pieces. Guess I'll be roasting all my pieces. And the overall shading is really bad. Also, looking at my critiques that I wrote on the side, I said for the hair to use line art. Please don't take that advice. It's terrible. My next piece was around the time I was trying to learn structure, and we're getting a very, very small sense of structure and understanding. But first we have to roast the ear because it doesn't even look like an ear. Like, what is that? Then there's the hair. Although it has shape, the texture is all wrong. And then we have the mouth. Like, the shape's so strange, and it looks like you can feel there's a mouth, but it just looks bad. And then his eyes. Now, firstly, in the last 2 months, I've learned one important thing is that the distance between the eyes needs to be one eye, and I guess I just thought back then that one eye was the size of a pea or a drop of water. Also, the shape of an eye is disastrous. And there's the line of the face. The proportions are so out of whack. You can even see me showing that with a ruler. I also didn't complete the piece because it just looked so bad. I felt disheartened. Shame on you, Sinjanam. Actually, a spread I did from a video idea, my very, very first video. So I was really shy in that video. So we have the first lady. I mean, that has nothing to do with the art, me being shy. Whatever. So we have the lady in the top left-hand corner. Even a 5-year-old can draw better than that. The hair is still following the liney type of form, which is really annoying and disgusting to look at. Moving on to the next one on the top right-hand side, the eyes are just as bad as the last piece, and also I have no form and shape at all. The ears don't even look like ears, they look like sea stuck inside of the head. There's also the mouth and the nose. The mouth shape is questionable, and she looks like she's doing that yikes emoji expression rather than the gorgeous, sexy. And her nose, it looks like it's running off her face. Then we have my piece on the bottom left-hand corner of the page. There's a lot more darks on this one, but the nose still really looks bad, and the mouth is flat and doesn't even curve with the face. The eyes also just lacking shape, and you just don't feel connections with the person. Or the drawing. The last piece on this page I personally feel is the best out of all of them, and that is in no way saying that this isn't bad. Like, it is bad, but it is just like 0.00001% better. So firstly, the hair has an actual shape. Well done. So thumbs up for that. But the fact that I was still using individual lines to portray the form of the hair is a thumbs down. Or you can see my thumb go down here. Here it is again. It's a big thumbs down. Well, moving on to the shitty eyebrows and eyes, there is still so much of a flat nature to the facial features. Anyways, I'm sick of this really terrible page of art. Let's not move on, shall we? It can only get better from here, right? Well, back when I created the above drawing, I thought it was the best one I had done so far, but now I've actually changed my mind. Because although the nose is like having somewhat of a better form, it still really looks bad. And the nose ring, is it a nose ring? No, it's not. That's why it's bad. The eyes are getting shape, but are very far from good. The girl at the bottom is the first thing that stands out to me as the worst. is like the eye shape. Their curves so outwardly, it looks unreal. I don't even think the stylization in like cartoons and shit would do such a mortifying thing. Her hair shape is actually not that bad. Although it doesn't show that it's being tucked behind the ear very well, I still had a problem with the eyebrows. The nose is looking a little bit better, but it's definitely not showing very well, like, form. The lips had an okay shape, but I can see I was really struggling to show volume and stuff like that. And the collarbone looks like two curves. Anyways, I had some critiques at the bottom of the page. So it mentions that the face is out of proportion, and I can go say that this goes for both the pieces on this page. It mentions that the eyes are not aligned, and with my ruler, you can definitely see for sure on both pieces. Moving on, we have some more disturbing stuff. As you can see from the back then, I was really focusing on learning structure and form, and this was evident from my unfinished piece on the bottom right hand corner. And just because you haven't seen all my other form works doesn't mean I didn't do any. I just decided to stop wasting blank paper. One's lined paper, but it's time to roast the biggest piece on this page, which is at the top. The facial structure is a little bit okay, but really not as good as I would like it to be. And I do know that the model had some more plump cheeks, and I don't think I did a very good job in portraying that. So let's just slice and dice her a little bit more. Her eyebrows are barely visible. The one is shorter than the other. Drawing eyes was really not doing it very well for me back then. And what on earth is going on with that nose? The form is just not even there. The lips are probably the best thing in terms of shape, but it is still needing work, and that wasn't even any shading or any clear shading. The next one down below looks terrible. Like, I was trying to draw a sculpture, and the woman in the sculpture didn't look ugly at all, unlike my drawing. Her nose is huge, and her ears aren't even on the same level. I think I just given up because I realized that honestly anything more I was doing was going to make her uglier than I already made her. On to the next page. I was actually doing some experiments. Gosh, now I sound like a crazy, freaky scientist on this page. So, please mind everything else. So, what you're meant to be focusing on is the two ladies down below, not that weird pink thing. Just ignore it. Now, I can say for both of them that I did not obey the rules of having an eye space between the eye. Stupid me. The hair is looking so much better than before, and the lady on the left, her nose actually looks like a nose. We're like, wow, pat on the back to me. I mean, sure, it is a bit flat, but we're getting there in terms of making it look like it needs to look like. The lips are not bad. The lady on the right has better lips, obviously, and actually both of these was a redraw on my first video because I remember I wasn't really happy about it, and I figured the only way to learn is to do it again. The eyebrows still look crappy, and lashes just really needed work. The next piece of art was actually another video. I think this one was an improvement as to some of the other videos I've been doing and portraits I've been doing. So let's talk about the face shape. It's really not even bad, and the hair actually has a shape. The ears are now looking like this other nut that curls. I think it's called cashews? Yeah. And then the one eyebrow is thicker than the other. Still struggling with eye shape. I'm doing this weird lemon thing. I still remember. I thought eye shapes look like lemons, and that is what I was trying to do. I don't know why. The nose is questionable on so many levels, and the one side of the lip is higher than the other. The neck has a little bit of form with the hatching, but I think I take back saying that this was better. It may be on the road to improvement, but it definitely wasn't the best. Moving on to the next page. This piece isn't even in the middle of the page, showing that I really had no confidence. The face shape is really bad, and this lady actually looks like an angry Karen. Sorry, Karens. I still had a problem with putting one feature higher than the other. The lips have shape that are just not shaded very well. The entire shading on this is bad, but the only thing that actually looks okay is the hair shape. Actually, I never noticed the ears until now. Comment below if you actually noticed the ears. And she doesn't look like she has a neck. The next portrait was actually from another video. I'll link it, and all the other portraits that I've mentioned come from videos down below. From afar, this doesn't look so bad, but up close, it's all kinds of bad. Well, I'm being a little harsh on my improvement. But anyway, this is a roast, so let us roast, shall we? The eyes are starting to get a shape that isn't lemony. I can see I was really trying to portray no shape at this point. I was slowly getting into a breakthrough. And the mouth, oh my god, mountains and mouths are not the same thing. The mouth reminds me of the mouth from the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland. The next portrait was from my video from last week, and I did mention that then in the process which I filmed was back in November, but editing and the voiceover was created this year. So firstly, I feel her face is really long. Also, please just ignore my cats in the background. I'm so sorry. Although the top part of the eye has shape, the bottom has this open space between the connection, which looks bad. The hair shape is really not going very well. Like, she looks like a rock star gone wrong. And ears were still not good, although I can see I was starting to see its support. Her nose has a shape that is becoming 3D, but it wasn't shaded well enough to show that. And what is this circle at the bottom of her mouth? The shading on the clothes is so terrible. And there's so many darks that's not even carried into the face. And her neck is really long. Although I was trying to get some form in the neck, but it really wasn't dark enough to show it. It actually looks pretty good, this piece, compared to everything else you and I haven't seen, right? So firstly, the hair shape is pretty good, except for the side on the right. It's a little weird. I don't know how to explain it, but there's this weird thing going on that you can see for yourself. And then there's the eyes. They're okay, but they're definitely not balanced. There's a weird shape on the one side. The eyebrows are questionable. The nose is still developing and getting there in terms of being 3D and having a good form. The clothes actually looks like clothes. Okay, moving on to the next part. I actually remember I started with this one first, with this curly haired lady, and as you can see, the curls are something I really didn't get down very well. The nose was really developing, and as you can see, there's the eyes. The one is covered, and I don't think that was a very good idea. The lips are actually nice to look at, but you don't see volume. You don't see that they are attached to the face. Then we have this piece. No, this one was next. Actually, we're gonna go with this one first. I'm so sorry for the confusion. The third one on the top row, I don't like her lips. The eyes are not the same, as you can see, and this is just overall not an appealing piece to look at. Then there's this one over here on the bottom. The hair shape is done really well, but there's this weird bump here that doesn't seem natural. This face, like the rest, is really small, which is good from afar, but as you get closer, you can see there's obviously issues, like the lips, they aren't the best. And then the eyebrows, always the eyebrows, they look shitty here, and I don't think you can see it very well. And then the next portrait, which is the one next to her, as you can see, the eyes are not the same, but the hair shape is done really well. And actually, this piece is actually my inspiration to this. Okay, and then we have the mouth. It's lopsided. Then there's this next one over here. We have this hair shape, which is pretty good, but then there's this weird bump, and the eyes are also slightly out of proportion, but nothing else more to say. honestly, this one is my favorite on this entire page, and possibly this one. I really like the hair and the darker shadows, and the fact that the lips are kind of showing on the fact that there is volume. I like that. The eyes, they're okay. They're okay. And the nose is actually showing form. So anyway, guys, if you have stayed to this point of the video, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Like, thank you. Whoever you are out there, thank you. Please leave a comment down below. I have really improved my art over the last 2 months. Well, this is going to be almost 2 months at the end of January. From December, I've just genuinely improved. And I just want to share some of those tips with you and show you my work. You've seen me roast my work, which there's been lots to roast, and I had every right to roast something as trashy as what I have put onto the internet. But now, I am here to show you some more better pieces, some more developed pieces, some more refined pieces. So, yeah, I'm gonna give you some tips right there. So, please subscribe so you don't miss out on next week's video.